Hi guys, I wonder if you're still in focus. Yep, hopefully. Right, this is something that I have been waiting to do for a while. He's been in my sketchbook for a while and I've not had the opportunity to work on him, what with commissions and exhibitions and things that have been going on around here. So hopefully I can spend a bit of time working on him today. And it's a piece that I rather enjoy, a story that I enjoy called The Ugly Duckling, where the little duckling grows up to be a lovely swan. I expect, I'm sure it's Hans Christian Andersen that actually wrote the story. I could be wrong, I don't know, I could be wrong. But I like the idea that as we go through life we all feel that we're not pretty enough or we don't fit in, and eventually as we get older we realise that actually we do fit in and we do all have a place in the world. Sorry about that. You know, I've moved my studio around because I lost a painting that I needed for an exhibition, and I'm so used to fighting to find everything in other places that now when I can find it, it's in the right place. I can't find it because I'm looking back in the old places for it. So I thought what I would do is I would do The Ugly Duckling, and part of the inspiration for this is Tamara Laporte did an online course called, what's it called? Oh, isn't that silly? I can't remember. It was about fairy stories. What I'll do is I'll try and put a link down below because I can't remember. Wasn't Happy Ever After? I don't think it was. But what I'll do is I'll put a link below, and artists were given different fairy tales that they wished to illustrate, and I thought if I was given that choice, what would I illustrate? Because you've got like Sleeping Beauty and Snow White, Beauty and the Beast. There's lots of lovely stories out there. And I remember thinking that one of the fairy tales I loved most as a child was The Ugly Duckling. Because it seemed to sum up all of us growing up, not knowing where we fit in, or sometimes even as we're grown-ups we feel that we don't fit in certain places or certain scenes, and we don't appreciate how we really are, how we're really seen by other people. We are too busy judging ourselves to be awkward or the wrong shape to fit in or the wrong attitude to fit in. When really, if we saw ourselves as other people did, maybe we'd all realise that we are all in some ways a swan. That we all have something beautiful about us. Just like the ugly duckling. And I thought I would like to do a journal page showing the little ugly duckling as I see him. His little chubby cheeks. I don't know if many people have seen geese when they are little. They're quite funny. Because, I don't know if you know this, but actually a swan is the largest member of the goose family. And here in the UK, certain swans belong to the Queen. I'm not too sure which ones they are, but they do belong to the Queen, and you can actually go to jail if you actually hurt any of the swans belong to the Queen. I'm not too sure which ones they are. At this moment in time, let's try and get this to blend a bit more. And once a year, when these swans are born, somebody from, I'm just going to take back somebody employed by the Queen actually comes and rings these swans, and to say that they belong to the Queen. And there are some swans, so legend has it, never makes a sound until the day that they die. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if that's some folklore or true. I don't know. I know in Australia they have black swans. I don't see many black swans in the UK. They are around, but we just don't see them as much as we do other swans. have swans in America or Canada. I know they have Canada geese because we have them in the UK. They come in the winter to the UK and then they fly out again in the springtime. And all our fields are full of Canadian geese. Right, I've dried him off and I'm just gonna put some stamps on him, just in the background. Just like water. Because the ugly duckling, when he realises, he looks in the water and he sees that he's ugly and he's sad because he's ugly. And when he looks in the water again, he realises he's not ugly, he's a swan. Just seeing what there's a darker blue. I don't know if it's going to be dark enough, I don't know, let me have a look. Oh, I do. Gives it a bit of texture. Which I like. Cool. I am going to do the yellow now, some yellow. So I'm just going to put the first coat on and then start to darken it in some places and lighten it in others. Quite like the contrast of the bright yellow. The geese aren't really yellow when they're born. I once had 3 geese. The first one I had was called Gus, and I found him, he wasn't very well, I found him in a field with lots of baby geese, and he wasn't doing so well, he couldn't run around like the others, and so I contacted the farmer and said, would it be possible to buy Gus? It wasn't called Gus then, it was just a goose. And the farmer said yeah, and we brought him home and kept him in the garden for quite a while, and we named him, well, I named him Gus after the goose that is in a book by Mary, I think it's Wesley her name is, I think it is Mary Wesley, and I can't remember the name of the story, but it's of an old lady who has this goose that goes everywhere with her, and he is called Gus. And so I had Gus, and a friend of ours offered us another goose. I think it was my ex-husband's friend who lived on a farm, who said they had a goose that would keep us company if we wanted it, and we did. And this goose was so aggressive that I named him Kurgan, off of one of the characters from Highlander, because there was nothing that this goose wouldn't take on. He was so feisty. And as the pair of geese got older, I eventually moved them down to a piece of land I've got, which I used to keep horses on, and that's where they lived for quite a while. And again, I got contacted by Bristol Inner City Farm that had some geese that they couldn't breed from. They were Chinese geese crossed with Roman geese, and because they were crossed, they became asexual, which meant for the Inner City Farm wasn't very good because they couldn't breed from them, and that's how one of the ways they sustain their farm is by breeding. And if you have geese that won't or can't breed, they don't earn their keep. And his name was Cedric, and he was really funny. He was very different to the geese that we had. He had a very, very long neck, not like the normal white geese that you see, like the Canada geese and the Roman geese that we had. He had a very, very long neck and a small head, and lovely markings on him, really, really pretty markings. And Cedric came to live with us, and they all got on really well. And they all went down to our field where they lived with the chickens and the ponies quite happily. And I used to let them out. My son was scared of them because they would chase my son. They had this sort of like built-in sense of who is scared of them and who isn't, and my son was scared of them, so they would chase him. but I really love them. I never had any problem with them. I'd pick them up and carry them around, a lot like the cockerel we had. We had a cockerel, Kellogg's, and he was a wild summer cockerel, which looks very much like the cockerel from the Kellogg's cornflakes advert. I don't know if you have that in other countries, Kellogg's cornflakes, but over here the Kellogg's cornflakes has a stylized picture of a cockerel, which is very much like a wild summer. I used to pick him up and carry him everywhere. And I did the geese as well. But one day when I went down to let the ponies out, I know it was to put the ponies in actually, I couldn't see the geese anywhere. And we looked, and eventually in the grass we realised that a fox had come along and had taken the geese. And had eaten them, which we were gutted. And we never replaced them. But we did have, for a time, some geese that shared our life. And did you know that with geese, that if you buy Roman geese, the regular white ones that you see with the stubby necks, that all the blue-eyed ones are male and all the brown-eyed ones are female. And that they live for a very long time. They can live, so I have heard, don't know how true it is, but they can live up to 60 years. They take 3 years before they're mature enough to breed. They do make excellent guard dogs because they are noisy, and they will, the gander will defend his territory. Quite effectively. And they can be very, very heavy. happens when you squeeze a tub of paint when you finally get the lid off. Right, just come back from washing my hands from the exploding bottle. Get some more tissue. Right, back we are. Just trying to get different shades of yellow. Just on the highlighted areas, like his breastbone on, and they really do stick out, their little breastbones. White might be a little bit too, I need to mix in. I'm going to dry him with the hairdryer, so I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to use this watercolour brush just to fill in just a little bit of the dark bits. Going to use grey on the darker bits rather than black. It's just a softer colour to use. Actually, when you actually look at things closely, it's very, very rarely that you actually do see black in nature. Now I'm going to put some gesso onto his eyeballs. Because once that's dry, it gives me a good base to put the eyes. That can be drying while I do the rest. Now, just look for a nice orange. Sorry, I'm whispering. I'm so used to working on my own. Then I forget. I talk to myself. I'm going to go with this colour. Don't like it 100%, but I'm going to go with it as a foundation. Might look a bit better once it's on. Actually, it's not as dark as I thought it was. That's a lot better than I thought it was. He looks like a zombie duck. Trouble is, when you mix up a small amount of colour, you're always worried, well I'm always worried I'm going to run out, because when you mix up your own colours you can't actually repeat the same colour. Make it a little bit darker. It's actually darker. These. I am going to try that again.